And so to head up the show here tonight in Gaborone for the vacant WBA Pan-African Featherweight title, Immanuel Andeleki. Very experienced operator against Rofhiwa Maemu. Maemu, another South African. He's from Soweto. Andeleki, the first of the Namibians fighting here on the card. Let's see if he can grab the glory in our joint top of the bill.
This will be the title fight for the vacant WBA Pan-African Featherweight. This is the belt that they'll be fighting for, and it's scheduled for 12 rounds. So before we introduce the officials and referee to you, let's bring the fighters into the ring. First of all, from Namibia, Immanuel Andeleki.
Yo. Here we go.
So here comes the man from Windhoek. And that is the title belt he wants to go all the way home with tonight.
His opponent hails from South Africa. Welcome, Rofhiwa Maemu.
Well, this fella does bring a bit of excitement with him, the man from Soweto. Very powerful, big hitter. Already well established on the South African scene. In fact, in his last fight, he came up short in a bid for the South African title against Azinga Fuzile in East London. So this is a chance to quickly get himself back in top-class championship contention. The belt would be his passport to that.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you please be upstanding for the national anthem of Namibia? And now, the national anthem of South Africa. the officials for this, the vacant WBA Pan-African Featherweight contest scheduled for 12 rounds. Your judges are Sylvia Mahela, Stan Christodoulou, and Wally Snowball. And when the bell rings in this four-cornered ring, the man in the middle of these two boxes will be referee Tony Ngangiwi. So, the combatants. Firstly, he's fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing the white and blue trunks. He weighed in at 56.7 kilograms. He's got a fight record of 24 fights, 12 wins, 8 losses, and 4 draws. Please make him feel nice, warm, and welcome. He's from Namibia, Immanuel Andeleki. His opponent, wearing the white trunks with the gold and red trim. He weighed in at 57.15 kilograms. He's got a fight record of 21 contested fights, 13 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw. South Africa's Rofhiwa Maemu. Boxers.
Boxers, I've spoken to you in the dressing room. Obey my commands all the time. Shake hands. Good luck.
Second act, round number 1.
Box.
The vacant Pan-African Featherweight title is on the line here. And it is the key to so much which may follow for the winner. White and blue, Immanuel Andeleki from Windhoek in Namibia, and the powerful Rofhiwa Maemu of South Africa. By all accounts, Maemu likes to get on with it. Nice pacey beginning here, controlling the center of the ring. Already trying to let Andeleki know that he's heavy-handed. Andeleki's been around a bit. But Maemu has fought in high class before now. Looking sharp here early on. Nice little move there by Andeleki, showing all his experience actually. He feinted and he drew Maemu onto a right hand, but Maemu is all attack. Sometimes it's the attacking big hitters that are the most vulnerable defensively, and there are signs of that here early on with Maemu. Looks a bit vulnerable himself. It does make for very exciting viewing, and this looks like it could boil up very, very quickly.
Break. Break. Don't hold and push.
Nyangwe, the referee, intervenes, but Maemu's quickly back about his work here. Andeleki again takes one on the chin. Busy opening here. First round has flown by, I think you'll agree. Promises to be exciting. Maemu making the running, but Andeleki has had his moments as well. Does rather expose his own chin, Maemu. All-out attack is great, but the vulnerability is there for all to see as well. It could be fascinating, this. Tremendous first round. Andeleki doing his best like a commuter who's been on a rather crowded train on the way to work, and he's got a bit ruffled with his suit, just composing himself there before he sat down on the stool, because his composure was a little rattled by the fast start by Maemu. But he found his mark as well, and as I mentioned, Maemu is very open defensively. And I think Andeleki has sussed that out already. He's had plenty of moments himself in this opening round. Andeleki was stung by the last shot there, the right hand. So it was by no means all one-way traffic. He's won the Namibian super featherweight title, this fellow Andeleki. Looks okay at the lower weight limit, 57.18. He actually weighed well under that, 56.7 at the weigh-in. Obviously, that's more than 24 hours ago, so it would be hazarding a guess to say what he's weighing on the night. But he doesn't look particularly big for a super feather. This might be the better division for him. But the problem is he fights a lot of guys like Maemu who are much shorter, strong, stocky, well-muscled guys who are coming up. Andeleki waiting for Maemu to lead off. Maemu never really needs much encouragement to do that. Here he goes. Nice and tidy by Andeleki early in this second round. Andeleki just giving himself a little bit more room than he did in the first round, I think. Asking Maemu to travel just a little bit further to initiate the attacks. That's very clever by Andeleki. Andeleki's a class operator. We've seen enough to know that already. And what's great about him, from my point of view, is that although Maemu appears to be the man with the dig and the power in this fight, Andeleki is letting him know that it's not going to be all one way. Some sharp counter-punching from him. The stars are going well together here. I think Maemu has already realized that it's one thing to blast out kids on the way up, but when you get into championship class, you're going to find men who know a little bit more about it. So he's got to think about how he's going to do this as well, not just come forward in the expectation of landing. But he does clip him. And again, Andeleki shows his quality and experience, hangs on, dealt with that attack very, very well. Shapes to be the fight of the night here. We may have saved the best till last for you on Fox Sports Africa and on our affiliate channels tonight. This Pan-African featherweight title. Much more circumspect in this second round, Maemu. That'll be music to the ears of Andeleki. Maemu must by now realize that he's in a tough one here, in a big title fight. Could be a very good watch. Some good work from Andeleki in that round. And as I mentioned, fighting fire with fire, that's so important. Maemu is still the come-forward guy, but look how exposed he leaves himself. The chin is wide open there, and Andeleki will have spotted that by now. You may be sure of that.
Seconds out, round number 3.
Maemu leaves off in the third round. Working behind his jab. That's good, constructive work by him. Andeleki replies in kind. I mentioned the fact that he is coming down half a division here, Andeleki, for this title opportunity at featherweight. Highly rated at super featherweight. Namibian champion. And in the independent box rec rankings, they've got him up in the top 20 in Africa. So he's making a bold career move here, Immanuel Andeleki. Good to see a fighter willing to be enterprising. Not easy for the Namibians. They have to travel to get the big jobs. Some very talented fighters, all we have had over the years. Been a pro for 6 years. Scarcely ever ventured outside of Namibia before tonight. Admittedly, of course, this is on neutral territory. Maemu from Soweto. Tucking up a bit better in this round, Maemu. That's good from him. They're bringing out the best in each other, these two. It's a fascinating fight. Asking questions of the other. And Andeleki really with less success in this round, I think, as a consequence of Maemu being a bit more watchful defensively. Got him with a nice right hand, Maemu, and looks to pour it on. Andeleki looking in a bit of trouble suddenly. The power told then, and Andeleki still not fully recovered. He's trading with him when he might cover up instead. Maemu senses a moment of opportunity. Andeleki needs to tie his man up here. Andeleki fought back fire with fire. It made for a thrilling exchange, but I don't know whether it was the right tactics, and he turned away. He turned away. Maemu was quite entitled to keep on pressing the attack. The referee told him that quite rightly, and the bell comes at just the right moment for Andeleki. It exploded into life in that third round, as it has threatened to do from the off. Andeleki just trying to compose himself now in the corner. So here we go. Andeleki had been composed, watchful, well organised. Then the right hand. It's not only powerful, it comes at real speed. What a shot it was. Maemu looking to pounce on his man, and that's where the legs wobbled for Andeleki. It looked bad for him at this moment. He's swinging wildly rather than hanging on here. Now he grapples.
Round number 4.
Now he's trying to give himself some time to clear his mind. But the attack was resumed by Maemu. And for a moment, Andeleki actually looked away. And he might have paid a heavy price for that. Into the fourth. Rofhiwa Maemu just fought out of a little bit tighter defensive stance in that round. And things started to happen. And that's how he started in this round as well. Very good from him. He's picking up exactly where he left off in the third. He's encouraging Andeleki to come out. Andeleki's not buying it this time. And Andeleki will be well advised not to buy it anytime soon. Needs to remain composed. Maemu doing his best to goad him. War child on the trunks. He loves a war, does Maemu. A brief pause in the action, but I think it's only a lull before the next salvo comes. And here comes Maemu to deliver it. Andeleki from the outside. Looking to put that mini crisis behind him. Two good operators in here. It's a very high quality match, this. Andeleki does look okay. It does look as though he's recovered, but I think it's going to stay with him for some time in this fight. That Maemu does have real power. That's better from Andeleki. Nice and sharp. He's one of those swarmy, come-forward fighters, though, Maemu, isn't he? Very difficult to discourage. Double jab might help for Andeleki. He's also quite short, and he was able to duck under a lot of those well-intentioned counters by Andeleki just now, was Maemu. Still, Maemu looks to stalk his man. He catches him with the right. Didn't catch him cleanly enough. Last 10 seconds of the fourth round. These rounds are zipping by. Might have been a bit premature with the clapperboard there, I fancy, judged on the clock. But the rounds are zipping by, there's no doubt about that. In the main, Maemu with the better work in that round, perhaps. That right hand was the best individual shot of the round, I think, but Andeleki took it very well. Not a lot of joy for the South Africans on this card tonight in Gaborone so far.
Seconds out, round number 5.
Andeleki out to the centre of the ring, but Maumu's claiming that ground. Maemu biding his time just a little bit. Has been fought at a furious pace so far through the first 4 rounds. Just a sense at the moment, both are taking a bit of a breather. I think it's pretty understandable. Demonstrating here tonight, Rofhiwa Maemu, that he's a all-round handful and more than just a big-hitting, squat, powerful kid. Andeleki demonstrating a tremendous amount of experience, of course, befitting one in his 25th professional fights tonight. But Maemu is like a student at graduate school here, absorbing the lessons from a man who's been around a bit longer. And he looks like a younger fighter who's got more development in him, actually, Rofhiwa Maemu. Exciting. Waiting his moment again. Looking for a big flourish just before the bell. Andeleki, I think, has been quite happy with this round, just to calm everything down, get his own rhythm back again. That's what happens when you've been around a long time, as Andeleki has been. Wasn't the most action-packed round of this fight by any means, but the standard's pretty high. Does possess a very, very good jab, Immanuel Andeleki. Used it to good effect there.
Seconds out, round number 6.
So approaching the halfway mark. Both men have had their successes so far. Maemu looks to pick up the tempo a little bit after, to a degree, having a round off in the 5th round. In the main, Andeleki fighting off the back foot. On the front foot in the main, Rofhiwa Maemu. Andeleki's well capable of fighting this way. Just a little slip in the corner there. There's a lot of water now. It's late in the show. 6, 7 fights onto the card. Needs to be careful about that, Andeleki. It's back in that corner again now. And, well, wouldn't you know it, it's actually Maemu who came off worse for the same reason, and now they do get the towel out. It's nobody's fault, it does happen. Happily, no lasting damage to Maemu, it would appear. He's back about his work. Andeleki judging the distance well. But Maemu's pretty adept at closing it. I think one of the things about a fight like this is that it's so very important to pick your sparring partners carefully. Different styles. So if you're Maemu, you need men who are tall and rangy, who like to work off the back foot, who've got a little bit of spark in the left hand. And if you are Andeleki, you need pressure fighters coming at you round after round. Sometimes fighters, what they do is they employ 2 or 3, same style, and they say to them, right, 1 round off, 1 round on, or you do a couple of rounds, then you have a round off, and the other man gets in to keep the tempo high. Certainly both are prepared very thoroughly for the style they're meeting here. Maemu looks to inject the energy time and again. Might be enough to persuade the judges that. But he needs to keep it up. No guarantees either way in this fight. No guarantee that the powerful hitting of Maemu is going to prevail. No guarantee that he'll be able to keep doing it for 12 rounds. He's boxing very, very well. But Andeleki remains cool. Cool and composed. See the way Andeleki leans out of the trouble. Good work by him. Quality work. If you can do that and stay in range, that means you're always able to fire back. And that's what we've seen a lot of by Andeleki, that ability to fire back. It's perfectly poised, this,
Round number 7.
as we head into the second half of it. Live on Fox Sports Africa and our affiliate channels tonight. From Gaborone in Botswana, the Grand Palm is a regal setting here. High-quality championship card. Maemu again starts at pace. One thing I think is going to be very important for Maemu is that he remains patient. Andeleki will keep going at this pace for as long as possible. He's not going to rush anything, and it's important for Maemu, surely, that he doesn't expend too much energy chasing. Has to fight in a way that's true to him. That is to be the pressure fighter and let the shots go. But he's got to understand that Andeleki will not go away easily. That's quality work again by Maemu. Decent little response by Andeleki again. Andeleki marches forward, considered in his work. Hard man to knock out of his stride. Nice jab from him. They are single jabs. He could do with doubling it up, I think. Single shot again by Andeleki. Gets out of the way of Maemu. Couple of wild swings then by Andeleki. That's not particularly effective work. Certainly not scoring work. You just dissipate a lot of energy doing that. I think the main stylistic fault with Andeleki is that these are single jabs. He really should be doubling the jab up. Would be much more effective if he could do that. Maemu pressing and pressing. Looking to press one on the button there, on the chin. Looking to explode something on Andeleki's chin. He hasn't been able to do it yet in this round. Closing moments then of this 7th round. Andeleki's had a fair measure of success, even with a single jab. Big flurry at the finish. It remains very much anybody's fight. It's a great stiff jab, but Andeleki needs to do a bit more with it, I think. Very, very composed, isn't he, in the heat of battle here.
Seconds out, round number 8.
I could not pick a winner at this stage, to be honest with you, ladies and gents. An intriguing finale to this show. You could argue, I think, that Andeleki needs to do more in some in order to truly impress the judges. What he's doing well, but he needs more of it. Easier said than done, a man against a man who's always there, always pressing forward, always looking to go into top gear and let the punches go. Single shot again by Andeleki. Same story again. Theme of the night, really, from his point of view. Must be honest, sometimes I do find it a little bit difficult when you look at a man as technically proficient as Andeleki, why they cannot get him in the gym day after day, instead of throwing one jab, to throw double jab. Surely it's something that you could practice until it becomes second nature. There again, single jab, single jab. Tempo's dropped a little bit from Maemu in this round. Could very well be the case that in his mind he's thinking to himself, there are going to be 4 after this and I'm going to really go for it. Remembering I think it was the 5th round where he just dropped it a little bit after putting a lot into the first 4. May very well be the case, I fancy. And because of the way Andeleki fights, if you do just drop it for a round to compose yourself, get the oxygen flowing again, then Andeleki's not the kind of guy who will seize on that as a moment of opportunity. He's fighting this round the way he's fought the other rounds. It's tidy, it's promising, but he's not really seizing it. Not taking this job by the scruff of the neck. And I think it's a fairly safe bet that Rofhiwa Maemu is going to come out blazing at the start of the next round again. Looks to finish with a flourish here, but he's saved a little bit of energy in this round for me, Maemu. So much hard work goes into preparing a fella for a big fight like this. So many plans, so many strategies have been discussed and discussed again. Towel between the rounds then to Maemu, just telling him, look, don't give your man a free shot here. Keep that guard nice and tight. Which he does as he comes out for the 9th round. That becomes the temptation when Andeleki's not throwing a lot, is just to relax and think, well, he's not going to throw anyway, so I don't need to get myself quite as tight. That's a nice, snappy, sneak left hook. I think he's slightly deceptive, Andeleki, in terms of the amount of power. Maemu sends him backwards. I think the left hand was a good shot. That not so good. Cannot get wild here, Maemu. Andeleki remains tidy, composed, organised. But there was the double jab coming in from Maemu. So far in this round, Maemu has not quite caught fire as I think he would have wanted to. Andeleki managing this round pretty well. Not closed the distance quite so well as he has earlier in the fight, Maemu. That may be because the legs are starting to go a little bit here in the 9th round. Andeleki still looking good on his pins after being a bit wobbled earlier in the fight. And of course, Andeleki in the main has fought at a comfortable tempo for him. He's not been the man trying to make the running here, as Maemu is doing now. Looking to finish the round strong. Starting to throw a few shapes and angles, but most of those shots are landing out of range now. I don't think Maemu has quite had the effectiveness in this round that they were hoping for in the corner. Trying everything he knows, but he needs to get a bit closer as he was doing earlier in the fight. And Andeleki happy to exchange. Just looks a little bit as though the fire has gone out for Maemu, and Andeleki gives him an old-fashioned look across the ring as if to say, it's been a long time coming, son, but I'm getting your measure here now. Fair amount of success for Andeleki in that round, even though Maemu looked to lead off. He judged the distance well in the main, Andeleki, and kept Maemu at arm's length, literally so. Big salvo here. And as I said during the round, I think what we're discovering is that Andeleki is slightly deceptive in terms of the power, and he's caught Maeumu's attention and respect in that way. Intriguing battle here.
Seconds out, round number 10.
There are 3 rounds to decide it. Here comes Maemu flying out the corner again. Andeleki gets to the center of the ring. Is Andeleki building up to a big attack here, I wonder? He's worked his way through this fight, almost like a man treading through a minefield at times, aware of the dangers, knowing all the tricks of the trade, having to take the odd risk to get where he needs to get to. Maemu certainly has not quite caught fire in this last third of the fight the way I'm sure he would have wanted. It's not like the tank has emptied on him, but I'm not sure he's quite able to fire on all cylinders as he did in the first 4 rounds. And that is music to the ears of Andeleki. Andeleki comfortable at this pace. Again, Maemu calls off the attack. Andeleki steps forward promisingly. And again. Has Andeleki measured this job to perfection? Saving himself in the early rounds, perhaps. And it's possible to argue that Maemu put a bit too much into that first 4 rounds. Andeleki's beginning to step forward a bit more effectively. Stalking his man now. Really for the first time in the fight. And Maemu is being backed up. Here he comes again, Andeleki, looking to land one. The only problem with him trying to land one is a lot of the time he's punching down to the shorter man, and that's not easy to do. Tries to go underneath. He's such a clever operator, Andeleki. He knows the job inside out. Can't quite execute the plan yet. Showing a few angles. Been a good round for Andeleki, but he makes a big lunge, and he should know better than that. It was a slip, certainly, at the end of the round. No way it's a knockdown. But an untidy end to what was been a very tidy round for him. Clever, clever work in that round by Andeleki. Maemu looking a bit more ragged, and certainly was backed up in that round.
Seconds out, round number 11.
So if Andeleki did have his successes in that 10th round, it's surely very, very important that he picks up where he left off. And it's equally important from the point of view of Rofhiwa Maemu that he gets back into top gear. He's not been able to find it in the last third of this championship fight just yet. 2 rounds to go. And again, he's a bit more flat-footed, almost leaden-footed compared to earlier in the fight. Andeleki from the centre of the ring. Don't think they quite had the effect, those shots. It was a nice move by Maemu, but the execution of the shots, not quite sharp enough now. Championship rounds, as they say. Late on, Andeleki coming on strong. Keep an eye on that right hand of Andeleki. Looks like he wants to throw it. There it goes. And again, he's missed with it, in fairness, a couple of times. It's a bit too much of a roundhouse shot for me. That was the best of them there, I think. Maemu needs to be watchful of that. I don't think there's any debate. There's been a big shift since about round 9 here. Andeleki may have been saving something all along. Very canny, if that is true. But he's looking to close the show. And round 11 is slipping away again for Maemu without much of consequence in the attacking sense. Around and around he goes, but he's on the outside and he's not getting on the inside. Andeleki controlling the centre of the ring. And expending a lot less energy, remember, in doing that. He's clocking up the miles, is Maemu. on what are tiring legs. Finds him then. Andeleki's got this occasional weakness in that he just gets a bit ragged defensively. That's the hope for Maemu. Last few seconds of the penultimate round. Maemu touches down. I don't think it was a knockdown either. I agree with the referee. He lost his balance. Andeleki may view that as a hard luck story, but I'm with the referee on that. Nyangwe, the referee. Nice stiff jabs exchange there. Andeleki felt it was a knockdown. Hard to judge for sure from that angle. I don't think we could positively assert either way, but real time, watching it as the referee saw it, I thought the referee was right. It may all come down to this last round. Here's another look at it. He was off balance. Andeleki could say, well, look, it's not my problem if he was off balance. I did my work. Might it be the case that it all comes to this? It's ebbed and flowed fascinatingly here. This is the 12th and last round for the vacant Pan-African featherweight title. Immanuel Andeleki from Namibia in the white and blue. Rofhiwa Maemu from Soweto in South Africa blazed a trail early on in this fight. The legs have just let him down a little bit, in my view, in the last few rounds. But whatever he's got left, he better bring it to the table now, because he's at his best when he's in top gear going forward. Andeleki has fought a very, very intelligent fight here tonight. Didn't panic under pressure in the early rounds. Kept going. Kept looking to pick his moment. I couldn't argue it either way in terms of the result. One big shot, either way, might be hugely important here in terms of persuading the judges. Andeleki goes for it. Couldn't find him really with the right hand, but he looks menacing, Andeleki, coming stalking his man. Maemu keeps a respectful distance. We're over halfway through the 12th round. Tentative again from Maemu. I think in the first or second round he would have let that one go. And just that occasional weakness has shown itself from Andeleki. He loves that big sweeping right hand, but at the back of the hall they could see that coming. Maumu's fought off the back foot for the last few rounds.
Guys, just watch your feet.
Last 30 seconds. Not been a lot of scoring punches in this round when both needed a round and needed it big. One big shot now might decide it. Last few seconds. Can Andeleki throw that right hand one more time? Maemu keeps a very respectful distance late on. He certainly quelled the fire of Rofhiwa Maemu, who was blisteringly good early on. But is it enough for Andeleki, who came on stronger and stronger as Maemu seemed to lose the intensity of the early rounds? But who knows which way it's going to go. I could not argue with any decision, a win one way or the other, or indeed a draw. Quality fight, very, very close.
Well, this is another fight that's gone the full distance. Both fighters deserve a great round of applause. Come on. Don't leave, it's not over yet. Don't leave.
Andeleki came close to landing that big shot late on, didn't he? Maemu looked a bit weary to me at times in those championship rounds. May only because he just put so very much into it early on. Enthralling match. We had a split decision in the other Pan-African lightweight title fight. Scorecards are being checked and checked again, and that's understandable, really. The stakes are very high. I think both men have done enough in that fight to earn another big title opportunity at an early opportunity. Both showed their quality. Right, so decision time. Such an important moment in the careers of both of these two. Here we go.
So the judges have scored the fight as follows. Judge Sylvia Michaela scores the fight 1-1-1 to 1-1-7. Judge Stan Christodoulou scores the fight 1-1-1 to 1-1-8. Judge Wally Snowball scores the fight 1-1-0 to 1-1-8, winning by a unanimous decision and becoming the new Pan-African Featherweight Champion, Rofhiwa Maemu.
It is Maemu's, and by wide margins. I must say, wider margins than I foresaw. I must be a poor judge. I saw it closer than that. But it was the early work, no doubt, of Maemu that impressed the judges the most. And Andeleki has paid a big price tonight, I'm afraid, for not quite being busy enough. He had his moments, but hard work rewarded. Maemu put everything he had into it. Look how disappointed Andeleki is. He felt he had a strategy to win tonight, but I don't think he landed enough, often enough, and effectively enough. That would be the sum total of it, but the judges see it very wide by 6, 7 and 8 points in favour of the South African Rofhiwa Maemu. But a quality fight, and a quality winner, certainly. So the celebrations begin for Rofhiwa Maemu. That belt is going back to Soweto, and it puts him on the map in African terms in this featherweight division. Of course, an option for Andeleki would be to go back to super featherweight, where he'd campaigned previously. So with Maemu celebrating still behind me, I'd just like to thank everybody involved in the promotion here tonight, in this marvellous setting in the Palm Court here in Gaborone, in Botswana. The main theme of the night early on, Botswana against South Africa. Comprehensive victory in that respect tonight for Botswana. Ogaketse, just 20 years of age. I think we've unearthed another major talent there from Botswana, as we did on the last show here. Big winner at super featherweight there. At welterweight tonight, wow, what a performance by Gometsan Gaatse. All out in the first round against Junior Mirando, but a winner spectacularly in the second round. Tremendous gutsy effort by Percy Mkize to overcome an ankle injury to win. And in the two top-line fights, the 12-round championship fights tonight, quality display by Ayanda and Kosi, a very polished operator, I think you'll agree, to claim the lightweight WBA Pan-African title. And as we've just seen, with the celebrations continuing, the Sowetan is going home with the title at featherweight. Rofhiwa Maemu, who had a bit too much for a bit too long in that fight against Andeleki. We've almost run out of time. We thank you very much for your company here on Fox Sports Africa tonight. I'd like to say a big thank you to all the team. Thank you very much to all the organisers here in this opulent, splendid setting. Most of all, thank you to you for watching. And from us all, good night.